Roblox quietly began doing one of the most interesting things they've ever done, and it has to do with, I think, our first ever moderation statistics. Back in February 2024, Roblox released the formerly beloved and now infamously abused DSA reporting for European users. In its announcement, Roblox stated that moderation actions would also be publicly reported to the EU Commission's transparency database. That meant we were going to have an entire database of ban logs to explore, all of which would have been moderation actions spawning from a DSA report. Well, after apparently over a year or so of not adding to it, Roblox has finally started adding ban logs to the transparency database, and it's super interesting. So here we are on it, and it's actually pretty fun because you can look at all kinds of companies' DSA moderation history like Twitch, Reddit, and even Uber. Of course, we're going to be looking at Roblox's database and some of the stats in it, but first let's look at how it works. First off, I gotta make it clear the database only shows the history of DSA reports that result in account bans or terminations, so no solo asset takedowns or whatever. Assets may be the reason why one of the listed moderation actions happened, but each moderation action shown was done on an account. So here are the main filters the database provides, which actually aren't very useful because they're blanket terms all the companies are under. For Roblox, it's best to search for specific words you see in ban notes and use the account restriction tab to see if an account was suspended, banned, or terminated. There are also advanced filters that let you filter stuff like content type, so text, audio, etc., location, if the ban was automated, language, and more. Here's a search of audio moderated for dating, which gave us 24 moderation results spanning from April 16th, 2025 to March 12th, 2025. Each result shows you the reasons for moderation, content type, when it was posted and moderated, if it was detected and banned by automation, and more. It also shows you if it resulted in an account suspension, meaning ban, and when the suspension ends, or if it resulted in account termination. Unfortunately, it does not show exactly what got moderated, but at least we have some ideas and it makes for some extremely interesting research. For example, if I do a simple search for dating, it brings up 9,290 results since February 28th, 2025, which is probably around when Roblox began adding to the database. From there, if I filter for termination of account, it shows that 83 of those 9,290 DSA moderations for dating resulted in account termination. We now know that only 0.89% of DSA reports that are deemed to be dating or romantic content by Roblox result in termination, while the remaining 99.11% are bans. We also now know that there have been over 9,000 dating bans since the end of February, which is a pretty alarming amount. Remember, this is only DSA reports, and this is apparently Roblox moderation handling them, so the actual number of dating cases are likely way higher. Another crazy search would be for sexual, which yields 305,965 results, with 10,000 of those happening during April 20th to 21st alone. 167,555 were text, 20,166 were images, 9,462 were audio, and 108,782 were ominously categorized as other, so stuff like games or avatars maybe. Those are some startlingly high numbers, especially when we know a lot of it and its facilitators aren't being taken down. Again, this only covers DSA reports that resulted in moderation, so imagine how high the numbers would be if we got access to all reports and moderation actions. Of the 305,965 total results, 43,350 of them resulted in account termination for a percentage of only 14.1%, with the rest being temporarily banned. You have to take these stats with a grain of salt though, because DSA moderation has been abused a lot and has been known to incorrectly or unfairly ban people. That being said, with how unresponsive even DSA reporting can be at times, ignored reports and improper bans may come close to canceling themselves out. Either way, the DSA report transparency database is extremely interesting as it gives us, I think, our first ever look into Roblox moderation stats. I encourage y'all to check it out because there are surely some super interesting stats that haven't been uncovered, so it'll be linked below. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below.